Hey guys, welcome to Reddit Brew. Today, I will be reading from the r/EntitledPeople subreddit, so let's jump into it. Entitled Aunt called CPS on my father because he refused to co-sign for her new car. This happened back in 2006, so some of the details are a little fuzzy. I'm also dyslexic, so I apologize if there are any spelling errors. Background: my aunt tends to go through cars like you wouldn't believe, and had just ruined her 30th car. Yes, that's 30. My grandmother, her mother, had offered to give her my late grandfather's car since my grandmother no longer needed 2 cars. That wasn't good enough for my aunt though. She had her eye on an overpriced 7-year-old red SUV with a ridiculous amount of miles. And because of her financial situation, she needed someone to co-sign to get a loan for the car. My grandmother, who had lost her husband not even 2 years prior, had no interest in co-signing for a new car that would probably die before it was paid off. So, at Sunday dinner one week, my aunt asked my father, her younger brother, if he would co-sign for her car loan. My father basically told her, "No way in heck. If I co-sign for a car for anyone, it would be for my 16-year-old daughter. Me, not you. Take dad's old car." This triggered a major fight between my father and his sister, which ended in my aunt screaming, "If you won't co-sign for my car loan, I'll call Child Protective Services because OP is sleeping on a mattress on the floor." My bed frame had broken not even a week before this, so I was sleeping on a box spring and mattress on the floor until we could get me a new bed frame. None of us thought anything about the threat, since my aunt had a habit of making empty threats when she didn't get her way. A few days later, I got called down to the guidance office in the middle of a chemistry test for an urgent matter. When I got to the office, I was led into a small room with the school social worker and another woman. The woman then asked me, "Hello, OP. I have a few questions about your living arrangements." She asked me questions like, "What's your home life like? How do your parents treat you? Are you happy at home? Do you have your own room?" etc. It wasn't until she asked, "How do you sleep at night?" did I start to mentally piece things together. And I asked, "What is this about?" The woman hesitated, but eventually told me, "We received an anonymous tip that your father is forcing you to sleep on the floor. We want to know what that's about." And that's when everything clicked, and I was livid. So I told the woman, "I'm not being forced to sleep on the floor. My bed frame broke about a week ago, so I'm currently sleeping on a box spring and mattress until my new bed gets delivered. I'll bet you any amount of money my aunt was the person who made the anonymous tip because my father refused to co-sign for her new car." The woman from CPS looked stunned, then turned towards the school social worker and asked if they had a way of reaching my father to confirm things. Since the number they had was outdated, I took my dinky little Nokia prepaid cell phone out of my bag and gave them my father's work cell phone number. Unfortunately, I have no idea what was said during the conversation since I was sent out of the room during the call, but it's safe to assume my father confirmed what I said. Once they got off the phone with my father, they came out, and the woman from CPS apologized to me, and I told her that I understood, and she was just doing her job. Then I went back to class. The aftermath. When confronted about it, my aunt admitted to making the call to CPS, and my grandmother was furious. She made sure my aunt didn't end up getting that red SUV she wanted, and she was forced to take my late grandfather's 1998 Chevy Cavalier. Unfortunately, my aunt didn't get into any legal trouble for the false CPS report due to it being an anonymous tip, but my father did give her a harsh warning about what would happen to her if she pulled another stunt like that again. My aunt is still super entitled and has sadly only gotten worse. What's wrong with a Chevy Cavalier? My first car was a 98 Chevy Cavalier, and it was great. I loved that thing. Also, you can tell that this story took place a while ago because having your bed on the ground with just a box spring and mattress is pretty common nowadays. That's how I have my bed because I just think it looks cleaner and cozier than a big bulky headboard. Plus, whenever I have the box spring off the ground, my cat Luna makes a hole in the liner and crawls up in the box spring, and it makes me anxious that she might get stuck in there or hurt herself on a nail or something. It is pretty cute when she makes a little kitty hammock with the liner though. Anyway, my ADHD is kicking in and I'm getting off track. Let's move on to the next entitled aunt story, starring the same entitled aunt. Entitled Aunt demands my father shovel her driveway not even 2 weeks after he was released from the hospital. Hey guys, I'm back with another Entitled Aunt story. Same aunt as my other stories. So, the backstory. In early December 2017, my father came down with a mild case of viral pneumonia. He took medication and rested for a week or so and felt better, so we thought that was that. Fast forward 2 days before Christmas. My father relapsed badly and was admitted to the hospital with bacterial pneumonia and a lung abscess. He spent 5 days in the hospital and was basically on strict rest orders for most of January 2018. He was released on December 28th, and we got our first major snowstorm on January 4th. We must have gotten about 1.5 feet of snow. Well, around 6 or 7 p.m. that night, we get a call from my aunt. My father had the phone on speaker because he was working on an airplane model and had been set up right under my bedroom, so I heard the entire conversation. "Hi, Jimmy." "Hi, Entitled Aunt. Mom and I want to know when you're coming to shovel our driveway." My aunt lived with my grandmother at this point. "Aunt, you're going to have to figure something out. I can't come shovel your driveway." "What do you mean you can't shovel our driveway?" "Aunt's name, I got out of the hospital for a lung abscess a week ago. I'm not allowed to do anything physically strenuous for the entire month." "But our driveway isn't very big. It only ever seems to take you half an hour or so." "Aunt's name, I get winded just walking up my staircase. I'm not allowed to even go to work for another 2 weeks. I can't shovel your driveway." "Not even with that snowblower I bought a few years ago?" "That snowblower you bought barely works and makes shoveling even harder. So no, not even with the snowblower." "But I have somewhere to be tomorrow. Couldn't you just shovel out where my car is?" "No, get one of your friends to do it, because I medically can't." "You know that friend who used to do that stuff for me recently had half his leg amputated and can't do stuff like that anymore." "You understand that your friend can't because he has a medical condition. Why can't you understand that I also can't do it because I have a medical condition at the moment? Where's Mom? Let me talk to her." "Hello, Jimmy. How are you feeling?" "I'm doing okay. Could you please tell my sister that I can't shovel your driveway because I'm on rest orders?" "What the hell is wrong with you? I thought I fucking told you not to call your brother, you dipshit. He just got out of the hospital. If you want the driveway shoveled so badly, do it yourself." No, no, no. I'm not asking your brother if his son can come do it. No, I don't care. Do it yourself." "I'm sorry, Jimmy. Have a good night and feel better. I'll deal with your idiot sister." "Thanks, Mom. Good night." My father would make a full recovery with no adverse effects from the illness. I was only reminded of this story because just this week, my aunt called my father in the middle of a snowstorm, asking him to run to the market for her because she needed cigarettes. You'll be happy to know my father refused. Go Granny! I love grannies that are not just the sweetest women ever, but also don't take shit from anyone. Both of my grandmothers are like this, and bless their hearts. Also, why can't the aunt shovel the driveway? Does she have a medical condition? Because if she does, that would be awfully ironic, wouldn't it? Great googly moogly. This aunt can honestly get wrecked. The audacity. Anyway, that is all from me today. I hope you enjoyed these 2 entitled aunt stories. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I truly appreciate when you do, and I will see you in the next Reddit story. Bye!